One question I want to wrap up with is based on an interesting study I came across, and you mentioned this briefly. So, starting up with a founder or with a co-founder versus on your own, when we have two sides of the argument, right? So, one study found that 80% of billion-dollar startups were built by 2 to 3 founders or co-founders. And then you have another study, or it was a survey, according to Octopus Group. 87% of entrepreneurs believe that having a co-founder has made their business more powerful.
Yep.
So this is the side that's more towards having someone with you. Now, in terms of being alone, there is a study by Wharton School of Business and NYU that shows that single founder startups were more likely to survive and generate higher revenue than businesses built in partnership. And then you have CB Insights found in research on startup failures that 7% of startups fail due to disharmony among the team or even their investors. So that kind of also highlights that not every investor who has the money you're looking for is a good one.
Absolutely.
But I want to focus on your take, because I feel like a lot of the ventures that you've went on to have or start, you did with other co-founders. So what's your take on this argument?
Well, I mean, this argument is absolutely right. And by the way, being a single founder does put you at a disadvantage with investors, because investors, they know these statistics much more than entrepreneurs do. And they'd rather bet on a team rather than bet on a horse, on a single horse. And this is just, if you want to look at statistics at the end of the day, they'd rather bet on a team. One, because of the diversity. Two, because of, at the end of the day, the reduced risk of someone doing it. And I don't believe that single founders have ever created something by themselves. It's about, you founded it by yourself. Maybe on paper, you started it yourself. You had the idea about yourself. But immediately or soon after, you found the right team around you, right? So Steve Jobs had Wozniak at the same time. Zuckerberg, for example, also his team with Marissa was a big part of how do we move to the next level, and how do I grow, and how do I do this with the right team? Maybe on paper, it was a single founder. But I cannot say this enough. Being an entrepreneur is an extremely lonely job. It's a very, very lonely place. So if you're going to run through all the ideas and all the problems and all the stress by yourself, it's something that mentally is extremely tasking. We don't talk about this enough. The mental burden that you have on entrepreneurs is tremendous. So if you're a single founder, I think it's multiplier of what you have when you're a co-founder. Because at the end of the day, when one is feeling down, the rest is still working. But also at the same time, when you want to make a decision, you have someone to complement what you are doing or to bounce ideas off. And mentally, we are at the end of the day, we're social beings. If it's a robot running a company, no emotions, I might think possible. But as social beings, doing anything by yourself is no fun. Even, unless you're traveling just because you want to travel backpack, you want to come back. And at the end of the day, interact with people, and you do, and you interact with people. So the mental toughness that you need to be a single founder is tremendous. And eventually you will find the right people around you to not be a single founder.